going on, guys? So today we're going to be building a shelf system for the back of my Jeep TJ. I do a lot of camping and I'm looking to get into a lot more overlanding. So a storage system for the back of the Jeep would be great to help me organize everything I have. So today we're going to be building something out of wood that anyone could do at home. So let's get going. So it's going to be very simple. In the back of the Jeep here, forgive the messiness, but in the back of the Jeep here, we're going to be building a shelf that goes across from here to here. And it's going to be about 58 inches wide, or in length, excuse me. And then wide, it's going to be about 24 inches. It's going to have a break in the middle right around here that comes up, and it's going to be separate pieces so it's easy to come in and out. And I put my bench seat back in. So let's get cutting, and yeah, should be pretty simple, straightforward. Let's go. All right, so with every project there's always going to be some sort of difficulty. We're already running into our first. So I'm trying to use some plywood that my grandfather had left over from a project before, because we all know lumber prices are extremely high right now. So I'm just using what I have. Now this is the board that I have. It is about 48 inches wide. It doesn't completely go end to end there, but it does seem to be pretty stout. Now what I'm thinking is I do want to still do the divider idea that I had in mind, just to help me organize the things that I have. So what I'm thinking is that if I cut this down the middle, right around here, and I put my boards on my legs on the outside, it'll give me maybe about 2 more inches or 1.5 inches more, and that'll help me go up a little bit more. But I do like the design of it currently because it is almost level with the tub here, the tub right up here, and it actually works pretty well. So I'm gonna do a little bit of thinking and see what comes out. Also, this whole idea came from Arkansas Off-Road on his previous TJ build that he did. So I'm pretty much just copying the dimensions he had. He originally had 58.5 inches. He didn't have carpet though, and what I measured out was 58 inches end with carpet. So it's a little bit different, but anyways, I still don't have the 58.5 inches or 58 inches of plywood. So we're gonna have to work with this. We'll see what I can do. So I wanted to do a strength test while I have it in here just as it is. The wood is bending slightly, but nothing crazy. And with a support piece in there, I really think this will be strong enough. I feel if I cut the wood, it might possibly weaken it. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's just a little straight piece coming down right there would allow me to divide it up a little bit and possibly just give a little bit more strength. And I think it should work. This is a pretty heavy jack, so that's probably much more weight than I'll probably put up there, or just about as much as my cooler full of ice and drinks. So yeah, and other than that, I'll have a tent up there, so this should work. Okay, so I got a little bit of measurement up just for where I want my divider to be. It's gonna be about at 23 inches. Sorry, that's upside down. That puts it in a pretty good spot right there, and it gives me plenty of room on this side and on this side to divide things up. And I think this is gonna work well. It's not as long as I wanted it to be, but I think it's gonna work. So let's work with what we have. Let's get this done. All right, so I got my 2 support pieces here cut out. They are roughly 12 inches. They are 11 inches and 7/8. So yeah, they will fit perfectly in between here. I went ahead and taped them together so I could sand the ends. So they're both equal. And we're gonna go ahead and see how they line up. I'm gonna be having one pretty much here on the edge, and then one right next to it. There will be a little bit of a gap in the back, but it should be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and test it out. Okay, so that was a little more difficult than it should have been. I wasn't able to get both of them in there because it kind of teeter-totters at the end there. But it'll work great once it's actually bolted together, but just kind of finagling it in there. But this is what it's going to look like. This is pretty good looking. We got one storage compartment to this side, and then we have this other one. These seat belts probably going to get removed for the time being, and they can go back in when the seat goes back in. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these two. Now what I'm going to do to connect them is drill holes in between both of them and put a pretty long screw down. Now you should probably do a bracket on the inside, which I most likely will do eventually down the road, but I don't have those brackets right now. So that'll be something I'll do later on. But for now, this will work. It'll be strong enough, and we can always support it later on, which we will be doing. And I'm also probably going to do a felt carpeting on top there. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish this up. All right, so there we go. There are the legs all screwed in there. I got 4 screws holding them on right down there. They do not line up perfectly. I mean, they do, but the bottoms are kind of wonky. They need to be jointed together, which they will be. I have some brackets. I just need some smaller screws. And yeah, overall, it is a very, very solid setup. The ends kind of can come down a little bit. As you can see, it teeters a little bit. But with the weight on there, I'm not worried about it at all. And I'm actually going to get some fabric for this. So that might actually help as well when it rolls over the edge. So I'm going to be going to the store right now. I'm going to go get the fabric and some other hardware. And I'm going to, but before I go, I'm going to put a little stain or finish over this just to protect the wood from moisture and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and I'll be right back after I get back from the store. Okay, so I just got back from the hardware store. It's a little later in the day because it took longer than expected, as always. But I went ahead and picked up 4 yards of this fabric. It's not an exact match, but it's better than black. I think black would have just stuck out a little too much, and it's close enough. It's better than nothing, and I think it'll look pretty good in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and, plus you won't really tell when everything's loaded up in here. So I'm gonna head and got some screws. These were about $2, and all of this was 18. So in total about 20 bucks. And that's the only thing I've bought so far. So let's get this fabric on there and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I went ahead and put these 2 support pieces in between the 2 boards here. Just one on the top, one on the bottom, one on each side. And they are pretty much jointed together, and they should be tough and strong. So now we're going to go ahead and put the fabric on. I might take these boards off and just do a full sheet over top, and then skip out on the middle here, and then cover these entirely, so that way the entire piece is covered. So let's get to that. Okay, what's going on, guys? So it's another day. I went ahead and finished up the project last night. Everything's looking pretty good. I covered it in some carpet, and so here it is. It looks pretty freaking phenomenal. There's a little bit of wood sticking out here, but it's nothing I can't cover up. Yeah, I went ahead and got some material at my local Home Depot. This is just some carpeting. It was pretty cheap all together with the screws that I bought and the material. It only cost me about $20. So this is really just a realistic project that anyone can do. If you already have the plywood, this is a pretty cheap project. If you don't, I mean, it's not going to cost you too much, and it's something that everyone should have at the back of their TJ if they plan on doing anything crazy, realistically. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more videos on this. I am going to be updating this video with another part when I get more storage stuff figured out. So stay tuned for that.